This week on Kayak USA, we are back working on the kayak camping trailer build. We're going to be adding some rod pods, the DIY style, out of some 6-inch PVC. Y'all stick around. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. And if you're new here, my name's TJ. Welcome to Kayak USA. Today, like I said, we are back on the kayak camping trailer build. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I am converting a 14-foot utility trailer into a camping kayak hauler. It's also going to be able to haul dirt bikes and four-wheelers and golf carts and stuff like that, but it is mainly going to be for hauling a Blue Sky 360 back and forth to the lake. We can pop the tent open, do all kind of cool stuff with it. I plan on putting an air conditioner on it, a water tank system, all kind of neat stuff. This video is going to be about the rod pods that we're going to be building. I bought some 6-inch PVC, and I'm going to show you exactly how you build your own rod pod style with a few things that you can get from Amazon. It's really cheap. It's really simple to do, actually. I've done this on several trailers in the past, and originally, if you've been following along, I've been planning on doing a 6-inch rod pod on each side of the trailer. But I've actually changed my mind. You know how you do when you get out in the garage and you're building something. Sometimes you just got to stand back and look at it, and that's what I did yesterday. I came out here in the garage and started, piddling around. I went ahead and cut my 10-foot sections down to 8 feet each. So I've got two 8-foot sticks of 6-inch PVC, and these are my scraps I got left, little 2-footers. I'll figure out something to do with those. But I cut them down yesterday, and I kind of used some straps, and I strapped them to both sides of the trailer, and I sat back and looked at it, and I got to thinking that if I've got one on each side, it kind of prevents me from being able to build anything on either side. Once there's a rod pod over here and one over there, you can't really do nothing else to that side, and I really want to add as much stuff to this trailer for camping as possible. So I'm going to go over some stuff with you guys today before we start installing this. I'm going to show you my future plans, future videos, and kind of get your input on it. I want you to hit me up in the comments with any ideas you have, and I just want to show you what's in my mind. When I was out here thinking yesterday in the garage, kind of setting everything up and looking at it and stepping back, I decided that I'm going to do 2 of them on one side. So what I did was I strapped up one of the rod tubes right down this side of the trailer, and then I took the other one and I put it right above it on this side of the trailer. And what that did was it freed up the other side, where I'm planning to make a plate with a long piano hinge that comes across the bottom with a couple of chains, and I'll put a little latch in the middle somewhere. But I want to make it so the tent opens on this side, and we can put our awning on the other side, and we'll have a table that we can fold down that'll be about the size of this square here, but we'll be able to fold it down, use it up under the awning on the other side, and really make this as practical as we can. If I would have put the rod pods on each side, it would have I wouldn't have been able to make that table and do more stuff with it. So I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to put 2, plus it looked really cool. When I put both of them up here, I kind of strapped them both together and sat back for like an hour last night in the shop, just looking at it and thinking about how I can make it, just right before we do any drilling. I think it's going to look really good. I'm excited to get started on this one today. Also, let me grab the other camera. I want to show you something. And excuse the traffic you're hearing today. I've got all 3 garage doors open because I'm trying to get as much light on here. This is a much bigger area for me to work on and get good lighting for you guys to see. When it's the kayak, I got plenty of lights over here, but this trailer's just so big, it throws a lot of shadows. So you're probably going to hear some traffic in the background, but I've got an idea. Can you guys see the front with that camera? Let's see. Let me turn you just a little bit. All right. So I've got this utility box right here. And what I'm wanting to do with this utility box is convert it to an air conditioner unit that I can run 2 hoses from the box straight up to the tent when the tent's popped out, and we'll have AC. Now, I went down kind of a wormhole on YouTube last night on how to convert these cheap 5,000 BTU, window units that you can get for like 150 bucks at Lowe's or Home Depot or wherever. And what I come up with was a lot of people use them, like they'll put it on the bed of their truck and they'll drill a hole in the top and put an air duct, like a dryer vent, 4-inch, flexible duct, and they'll put it right at the blower and they'll run it into their tent, and they have AC in their tent. But what a lot of people fail when they do it, that I noticed, You have to have the return also go into the tent. Just like if you put the window unit in your house, the return sucks the air from the inside of your house and then blows cold air back out, and that keeps you from pumping constant outside humidity into the tent, because the tent's already not very big, and you just got to make sure you put the intake and the draw, you know, everything has to go into the tent. So I'm going to convert this in a future video. I'm still drawing up the plans for it. I just wanted to share it with you guys and get your thoughts. But I think I found a window unit at Lowe's for like 150 bucks that I can kind of cut down and fit into this box. And I want to have 2 ducts coming out the backside with caps. So when we get to where we're going, we can plug up our window unit through here, put our 2 ducts on, run them up, hook them up to the tent, and have AC, and we can do a whole lot more camping trips in this thing. So that's my plans for the next couple videos. Today, I know I'm rambling on, I just want to get you guys caught up. Today we're going to be installing the rod tubes, and then next week we may do the AC, and then the table on the other side, and then the water tank, and then the flat screen TV, you know, all that. And I'm just joking, we're not going to do a flat screen TV. We might, I don't know, we'll see. But today we're just going to get started on the rod pods on the side. I hope you guys like this content on this trailer conversion that I'm doing. Like I said, if you've got any tips or any ideas, I read all the comments. Hit me up in the comment section below, and let's get started on installing these rod pods. All right, so the main 2 things you need whenever you're building these DIY rod tubes for a trailer or your truck or wherever you're going to put them, there's really only 2 things you got to have. You got to have the 6-inch PVC pipe. They sell it in 10-foot sticks. I have always cut them down to 8 feet because none of the rods that I carry are really over 7.5 feet. That gives you a little play. So I just cut them down to 8 foot, and they look really good at 8 foot, and you know, it doesn't give me any problems. So I went ahead and cut these down. Like I said earlier, yesterday I come out in the shop and I used my chop saw and I just kind of rotated it and went around and cut them off. I got a little bit of a footage I'm putting up right here that you can see, but I just cut them off at 8 foot. And besides the PVC, what you got to have are these things right here. Now this is called Conduit Carrier Kit, and this is AA. I've done this before. I'm gonna try to hide my face so it'll actually show the box. There you go. I've done this, like I said, several times on several trailers. This is the first time that I went with this particular brand. I usually buy the Reese brand, but the reason I went with this one today is they sell theirs in black. And I'll link all this in the video description below if you want to follow along. You can click my link. I think I got these off Amazon. I know I did that. But what's really neat about, like, here's the end cap. Let's see if I can hide my face again. And they're solid aluminum. They've got pad on the inside, so it's real soft. So if your rods do kind of slide and hit, it's not like it's smacking a metal or anything like that. But what it is I'll put a little bit of silicone around the edges. We'll put this cap on here and we'll screw it down. And this will be the end cap. I'm going to put the openings are going to be down here, and the end caps are going to be at the front of the trailer, the way I kind of mocked it up last night. And I'll show you the opening. Now, this is another really cool thing, and another reason that I went with this brand this time is because of their lids. They're lockable. They come with a key. Let's see if I can dig the key out of this box real quick. A lot of times these don't come with keys, and this one did, which is really cool. I mean, it's not... People could still probably break into this, but it's going to be a lot harder with a lock on it. The regular Reese ones that you can get, they're aluminum colored and they're not lockable. So all they do is they latch by pulling this thing up. Let's see if I can hide my face again. So the way you open them is you pull this out and you turn it, and then this opens up. Well, it won't open it because it's locked right now. But they come with these little stars. See that little lock right there? It's a little star bit. And this little key, you turn it and you can unlock it, and then it opens up. But that's really all you need to do this. Now, they send, besides the 2 end caps and the mountain stuff, they send the U-bolts. They send 4 of these U-bolts that wrap around it. And the reason they send 4, let me grab 2 of them, is because you're supposed to use these. Now, we're not gonna use these in the video today. I might have used them in one video before, but I'm not going to mount them this way today. So the way these works is you have 2 per spot, and you got these little things right here. And you're supposed to put the U-bolts around the PVC and around what you're locking it down to. And then you're supposed to put this on this, this on this, and then you tighten it down with the lock nuts on each side and the washers, and it tightens down to what you're gonna be putting it on. We're not gonna do that. I think that's a lot of overkill for what we're gonna be mounting, and I want it to also look good on the trailer. So we're gonna use just 2 of these per pipe. And the way I'm gonna do it is I've already got these cross members that are going up right here out of this box that I built for our tent. And I'm just gonna set the pipe up. I'm gonna measure 2 inches up, and that's gonna be our first hole. And then we're gonna put 2 holes here and 2 holes here. And we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. I did buy some paint for these. We're gonna go with flat black. I do got a couple of guys talking to me. They wanna send me some stuff. Like Elite Graphics I used to use. They helped me wrap my kayak that time. We're gonna probably wrap these. I just haven't figured out the design yet. So what I'm gonna do today is I'm just gonna scuff these up, sand them down, wipe them down with some acetone. And I've got some Krylon Color Max paint and primer, flat black. It'll match everything on the trailer. And we're just gonna paint these up really good before we put all the hardware on and get them mounted up. So it looks like I got some work ahead of me. I'm just gonna set the camera up and throw some music on for you guys and get to work. All right, I think that was supposed to be the hardest part, but it actually wasn't that bad at all. So what I'm gonna do now is I've got the 4 U-bolts in. I don't have nuts on the back or anything like that yet, but I wanna kind of slide in the PVC pipe and see if it'll hold it in place so we can kind of mock it up, make sure everything's still gonna work good before I start painting and all that other good stuff. So I'm gonna try to do this by myself. These things are kind of awkward to handle, and I don't think I need to put any nuts on the back to hold it in place. I think I might be able to just kind of lay them up there for now, and then we'll pull them back out once we know everything's good to go. So let me try that. All right, what do y'all think so far? They're uneven right now because some of the U-bolts are pushed further in the others. Right now I just got them kind of hanging on by the threads, but that's about where it's gonna be. And what I ended up doing was measuring 2 inches off this bottom, but instead of doing 2 inches in between, I just did 1 inch on centers right here on these 2 holes, because 2 inches would have put the pipe too close to my molly panel. And I still wanna be able to mount some roto packs for gas, water, you know, shovels and stuff like that. So I kind of wanted to keep this open. I didn't want to get it too close to my panel there on my billy bars. But I think we should be able to still put these end caps on. We'll mock everything up real quick, not screw anything down, and just kind of see how it's gonna look. I kind of want this to be flush with this when I lock everything down. So it's gonna be kind of like that on that end. And I think instead of doing the other side where these are up and down like this or like this, I think I wanna do these sideways so they open to the side, like this here on this end. So I'm thinking that maybe we put these like this with the locks on the bottom. What do y'all think about that? So we'll be able to open them like this, slide our rods in, lock everything up, and then we'll be good to go. I don't want to open it to the outside. I don't know if that would be, that's just going to keep falling. Yeah, I think I kind of want it to open to the inside and keep the hinges on the inside right there. And the double barrel rod pod mod is complete. What do y'all think? I did go back and touch up with I got a little bit of spray paint left in the can. I went and touched up some of the places where I scratched it off. I'll do an up close of it in just a minute, but I do want to answer one question. I know it will be the very first question, and y'all probably ask it multiple times. Every time I build one of these rod pods out of a 6-inch, everybody's like, how many rods will that actually hold? So what I have here, and I'm going to show you, I've got a lineup of the nicest rod and reel combos on the market. These are all loose. Yes, they are the best. And I've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bait casters and 1 spinning rod. Now I have more. I just brought these over here, lined them up. We're gonna see if we can get all of these 8 rod and reel combos into these 2 rod pods. And if we can fit more, I'll grab more and we'll just see how many they'll actually hold. That way, I don't get this question like a million times in the comments. How many rods will that actually hold, TJ? Let's find out. So when you load these rod tubes up, if you build one of these and you put it on your truck or your trailer, the first rods you put in, if you plan on putting as many as you can in here, you put reel in first, and I always run rod socks. So if you don't run rod socks, don't just put reels and rods in here without having rod socks on them, because that's one easy way to start tearing your eyes up on your rods. If you don't know how to make these yourself really cheap, I've got a video on my homepage. I'll link it right here. You can make these for like less than $1 a piece. Watch my DIY video. I made all of these red and black ones you see in the video. So I'm gonna start by, and it's a good idea to turn your cranks where they're straight up and down with the rod, just like that. Look at that pretty crush. So turn it about like that, keep them straight. And let's start sticking them in. See how many we can get in here. There's one. And these all are rigged. These are fully rigged luge rods. That's a pretty one right there too. That's on the TPX1. Pretty. Slide this bad boy down in there. There's two. There's my older luge right there. It's my old speed spool. I've probably had this one for 10 years. I love it. It's got the chatterbait on it. Can't go nowhere without a chatterbait, especially in Alabama. There's three. It's a good idea. Like what you see me do is I'm pulling them out so I can see that the reels are together. Can you see what I'm doing? No, I'm just blocking everything, ain't I? I'm sorry. Let's see. How about that? How about that? All right. So what I'm doing is I pull the rods out and then I get my reels kind of together before I slide them in. So that's 4 rod and reel combos. We're still in the first pipe. See if we can get one more back here with them. Turn the crank around. Flip this one over. All right, there's 5. I'm gonna stop at 5 with the reels on that end. And I'm just gonna grab them up. I got one I gotta straighten up, sticking out a little bit too far. All right, 5 is gonna be tight. I got one that's just sticking out too far, so I'm gonna peel one of these out. We're gonna do 4, because I don't wanna tear up one of my rod and reels. So let's do 4 on that end. I know we could do 5, but I'm struggling right now and I'm trying to film it, so. All right, there's 4 on that end, and I've just got a mess on this silicone. I should have peeled all this off. And we'll flip this one around. See, I got stuff all over it. I didn't clean out where I cut the PVC, so there's a bunch of dust in there I should have vacuumed out. So now we'll start feeding them in rod tip first. There's 5. Heck, this one's even got the A-rig on it. There's 6. There's 7. I mean, I could do another one in there. I don't know if there's any point. I'm gonna run out of rod and reels, and I think I've got 15 over here. As you can see, you can put as many in here as you need. Like, I don't see me taking 20 rod and reel combos with me when I go camping and fishing. I usually only take about 10. So I'd probably put 5 in the top one and a few in the bottom. My spinning rods though, it would be smart, like say, right now, how many do I have in the top? Did I say 7? So now I could switch and just put spinning reels in the bottom. So like, that crush fits right in there just like that. And I really, if I'm gonna put more than one, let's see, I got this crush here. Let me flip it around. This is a full size. This is a 7.2 rod. This silicone's still just everywhere. Let's slide her in. All right, this isn't a luge. This is one of my wife's, my other spinning rods are in the basement, but I'm just gonna grab this one and show you. There's 2 spinning reels in the bottom, fully rigged, and I think I could probably get 2 more. So that's a total of, we could put 8 fully rigged bait caster combos in one rod pod safely. And the more you put in there too, it's like they kind of hold each other in place so they're not jumping around. You wouldn't want to put just one in here and ride around, because every time you stop and go, it's just going to be bouncing around inside there. You might break something. So if you can pack them tight like I did, so I've got 7 up here. I think I could put 1 more combo in here. That'd make 8 up here, and then we put 4 spinning reels. I mean, are you really going to take more than that? Then what you do is you shut them, You take your key, wherever it is, you lock it up, and you got the double barrel rod pod on the Kayak camping trailer. I freaking love it. Whew, all right guys, I am beat. This one kind of kicked my butt today. I've been out here for about 4.5, 5 hours doing this. It's really not that hard. It's just a lot of things you got to do, and plus it's like 1,000,000 degrees out here and I got the garage doors open. But I think it turned out really nice. I really like that I went with the double barrel on one side instead of taking up both sides of my trailer. So now, like I said at the beginning, we can add other things like that fold down table. To the other side, we're gonna add the AC unit, we're gonna add a water tank, we're gonna add all kind of cool stuff. If you guys have any ideas that you'd like to see done to this trailer, leave them in the comment section below. Like I said, I try to read all the comments. I get down there and I like them and heart them and all that good stuff. And if it's a good idea and I like it, I'll give you a shout out or whatever, and we'll use it and we'll put it on to the trailer. If you enjoyed today's video and you like what I'm doing right here, you guys make sure you hit that thumbs up. It goes a long way to help support my channel. You would not believe, just by hitting that thumbs up button on my videos and watching them all the way through, how much that helps my channel and algorithm. We've been doing really well. The channel's growing really fast this year. I really appreciate all the support I'm getting from you guys. With all these different builds I'm doing, it's hard to keep up with what I'm doing week to week. Like, we're doing the Blue Sky 360 build now. I'm doing the Overlander build at the same time. Now I'm building this trailer. We got the new Jayco that I'm wanting to work on. So I got a lot of stuff going on. Subscribe to the channel if you want to keep up with all of my builds and all the stuff that I've got going on. But yeah, I'm going to quit rambling on. I appreciate you guys watching. If you're new, hit the subscribe button. If you like the video, hit thumbs up. Tell your friends about my channel. And I'll catch you next Thursday at 2 o'clock. Peace.